and welcome to the Cryptonaut podcast. I am Mark Storrs, and with me as always is...
I am Chris, and also a Carnicelli.
There it is.
You were looking at Rob, you're like, I don't know how to proceed.
I don't even know where to go with that. Thank you, and you are.
I am Rob Morphy.
And we are recording this episode in our brand new studio.
Fancy pantsery.
One room over.
Yeah, one room over. Yeah, we
Yep.
have soundproofing in here and all kinds of fun stuff, and it's kind of neat. It's like isolated now. Like it's kind of like our own like little chamber of fucking horrors, maybe.
Oh no,
Chamber
of
horrors.
Overselling.
Chamber-
The Iron Maidens in the corner.
Yeah, it's true.
The guillotines over there.
Our Vincent Price wax mannequin is to the left.
Yep.
There's a really cool Joe Simon print in the corner.
I fucking
it's
love
dope.
that thing.
I
think
know.
it's
I was
awesome,
so
man.
happy when his daughter hooked me up with that.
my
It
God.
was just
Yeah.
the best.
But because of all the awesome support that we got from our listeners over there on our Patreon, we were able to move to the room next to where we were and get it all soundproofed and have a brand new studio. So thank you all to our patrons and our regular supporters too that are out there.
Absolutely.
Very
yeah.
much appreciated.
And I am getting high as fuck off the carpet plastic that is everywhere, and I love it.
Yeah, everything. It's new
Deep breath.
carpets. I mean, there's a lot of new carpet in here, and it smells.
a lot of new plastic.
It smells rustly.
Yeah. we're on the inside of an unboxed Star Wars figure.
Yeah.
Is it really bugging you that bad?
Oh, it's not bugging me at all. I'm actually
You get
thoroughly
used to it, but
enjoying
like
it.
if you go outside just for 30 seconds and come back in, you're like, oh
Right.
dear
the
God,
fuck is going on?
I'm in a carpet. The carpet is in me.
Is this the fucking carpet podcast now? Start talking about different types carpet
all
types.
sorts of rugs,
Yeah.
throws, everything.
Oh, the carpet knot podcast.
The carpet not. Someone's gonna do a fucking a Photoshop of that, and I'm gonna fucking love
The
it.
unknown carpet.
The unknown.
Oh,
dude.
Tomb of the Unknown Carpet.
Yeah, holy shit. There it is. My God. Patreon's the thing that we offer. Robert, we got some shout outs to do. Good sir.
Fucking A right we do. And we'll begin with Desiree Lopez.
Thank you so much, Desiree.
Indeed. Another fish story.
I'm convinced this is something. You guys talked me down off my
Yeah, no,
fucking ledge.
We have processed all the syllables and all its permutations. Chris and I are pretty convinced that this is just another fish story. Mark is sure we're getting duped and we're saying something like, I don't know, some heinous shit about whatever. But
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. Could be. I don't know.
knows?
I've been hurt many a times.
Yeah, you have been.
Yeah. Ice, ship, mice, elf.
Yep, there it is.
There you go. All right.
Dreamer.
Oh, Dreamer. That's awesome. What up?
I know, so 70s. Put that on the side of my van. Isaac Golden.
Hell yeah, Isaac.
Dang.
Thank you.
All fucking caps.
You're right. I'm in.
Yeah.
Mike Hansen.
Hell yeah, Mike. Thank you so much.
Bop, deep, dop. There it is.
What?
Hansen.
What?
Bop. Come on.
Because Hansen.
Hansen.
Oh, shit.
Work harder.
I totally
I
that
mean,
went
if you
over
want
my
to go
head.
for like, making a pedo sit down, you can go Chris Hansen. I'm going to go traditional triplet Hansen.
Okay.
It went totally over my head.
Taylor Prindle.
Thank you, Taylor.
Daniel Dominowski.
Thank you so much,
Yep.
Daniel.
Oh, that's such a fucking Bond villain name. Tim fucking Miller.
Fuck it,
Dang.
Tim. What up?
God damn, your parents have great taste in middle names. Creepy Uncle Gobu.
Yeah.
I don't know what to
thought
say
it was
about
anime.
him.
I wasn't
You're
sure
thinking
what
of
to do with it.
Goku.
Goku. I am thinking
Yeah.
of Goku, but Gobu.
I like it.
Shonda Magpie.
Thank you so
Yep.
much, Shonda.
Magpies. Often
go.
slept on birds. Like magpies are pretty dope. I think, are they like pseudo crows? I don't know. I'm not an ornithopologist. I just know magpies are birds, and I think they have dark plumage.
Yeah, there's cartoons about a couple of them.
Yeah,
I don't even know.
I thought so too.
magpie is.
Maybe in Dumbo.
Well, no, like
not to
Heckle and
be-
Jekyll were magpies.
Were they magpies?
100%.
Oh, son of a bitch! Not crows.
No, I think they were magpies.
There it is. So it's the most obvious choice, and I missed it completely.
I can pick out a pigeon and a dove and a duck. That's about all I got.
Wow, you nailed it.
Mailers.
That's all I
Hey,
got.
next one's a good buddy, family of ours, Kristen Carnicelli.
Oh shit! What up, Kristen? Thank you so
cousin
much.
Kristen
Yeah.
that feeds me pastas.
Oh, no,
Oh, there
not
you
just
go,
you,
yeah.
buddy. I've been well
And
fed
sauces.
at the table.
Unbeatable sauces and pastas.
Nice.
The indefatigable sauces, the Mortal Kombat of Italian dinners. And she
It is
will
a
throw
fatality.
down-
If you're
it is
going to
a
have it,
fatality,
you're like,
yeah.
you can't go back. You're dead.
You know, you're done. You're absolutely done. Kristen, you're the fucking best.
Thank you so much, Kristen.
And now we're going to move on to Psychobilly Jimmy.
Hell yeah. Psycho Billy Jimmy. It took me a second to read that. I'm like, there's so many L's and Y's in there. I don't know what the hell to do. Psychobilly
Yeah,
Jimmy.
but it's just 2 words, and it just says what it says.
I don't know the difference with birds. I have a hard time reading.
Magpie Psychobilly.
There you go. Boom.
Raymond.
This week, we are delving deep. This is coming out in the first week of October, and we all know this is when I start shutting my ear down, so I want to close it out on a really fucking strong note.
There
Not
it
to
is.
put too much on you.
Oh, no. How could
Just
I feel
Totally.
pressured by
Just
that
saying.
at all?
Yes, and this actually, we haven't done one of these in quite a while. This is one of our Mystery Bag Mondays.
Amongst my faves.
You get the
bag.
You get the 2-for-1. It's the BOGO.
Yeah, it's the 1-2 punch.
It's the one. Yeah, it's
the first one reels you.
unblockable.
The second one knocks you the fuck out.
Totally. Yes, I'm fucking.
If we're lucky.
Yeah.
Probably neither.
Well, you know what? All we
I
can
don't
do.
want him to knock people out.
Well, I mean, knock people out in terms of blowing them away with the glory of horror.
Okay.
It probably won't
Acceptable.
do that. Yeah, but we're just going to try for it.
I think we just need to put our positive vibes out there because I know we all got them. Looking at Chris,
P-vibes.
Mr. Positive.
Oh, yeah,
over
no
here.
doubt.
Yeah, no, it's me.
And we're just gonna. What did you call yourself earlier? Like an unfunny candy cane or something like that? Or in
The immobile candy cane.
Chris is the
Wow.
immobile candy cane.
That takes explaining, and
Yeah.
we have no time for that.
No,
That's fair.
We do not. But we are getting started with the House of the Faceless People.
That really sends it right there. The title gives it all. But it is what it is, so you have to just accept the name given.
We'll see.
In the swampy wilds outside a small New England town lurks a horrifying legend regarding an elderly caretaker and a group of humanoid entities whose most defining facial features are their utter lack of them.
There it is.
Yikes.
Ooh.
Guess what they are.
Faceless.
Hence, no
Boom.
face.
No face. Jiminy no face. All right, let's do this. Wedged in Fairfield County, in the southeastern portion of Connecticut, is the small, sleepy town of Monroe. This bucolic backwater sports a population of just under 20,000 souls, but though that covers the human populace, it does not account for the entirety of this rural community. This is due to the fact that, according to many native New Englanders, there dwells on the edge of town a group of entities that census takers would have a much more difficult time assessing.
Everyone gets bummed out about the census.
Everyone.
I hate answering
The
it.
inhuman,
I-
truly human.
I do it every time it comes around. I'm like, God damn it, I got to do this. But I'm
It
like,
is important.
fuck. I know.
You want to
They gotta
stand up
know.
and be
Yeah.
accounted for.
I know.
For sure.
And it kind of fights gerrymandering as much as you can
No,
in a corrupt
things depend
system.
on you doing it.
Yeah, no, you got to stand up and be counted. America.
There you go.
On an isolated stretch of country road on the outskirts of Monroe stands a towering ramshackle house that looks like it was dredged directly from an old Universal horror film. With its rotting lumber, peeling weather-worn paint, and fully boarded windows, the place looks like a quintessential haunted house. Though it's not ghosts that are alleged to lurk within its decaying, mold-ridden walls, but something much stranger and infinitely more horrifying. For years, local teens, full of vernal zest and new to the privilege of driving after dark, have dared each other to drive past this architectural nightmare in the hopes, or dread, of seeing one of the house's despicable denizens. As they slowly cruise past the fetid swamps and marshes down the pocked asphalt of this neglected road, the first thing these intrepid teens notice is the arched cupola with its eye-shaped oval windows staring blankly into the darkness. The rest of the home is concealed by a thicket of tall dead trees, their bony fingers stretching skywards as if in search of a salvation that never graced them. At this point, many of the cars, filled to the brim with giddy youths, tend to speed up, already having received a thrill simply by driving past the legendary location. But those of a hardier stock slow down once they reach the hoary old house. Still others, helmed by stubborn drivers, often trying to impress their current crush with a foolhardy show of courage, even come to a stop. They've heard rumors that those who idle outside of the House of the Faceless People, quote unquote, will see an orange light pouring through the thin slats of one specific boarded window, the caretaker's room. That doesn't sound ominous at all.
No, not at all.
The only thing remotely close to this kind of thing is there's that one house when you're just getting into weed sport.
Oh,
and
I know exactly what you're talking about.
Oh, yeah.
And that is the closest thing to this description.
And the funny thing that,
because it's an old house,
you say that, it's very similar because there's photographs of this house online, even though it doesn't give the specific road, and it looks a lot like that. It's like, imagine, it seems so generic, but like an amalgam of the Munster and the Addams Family house.
Yeah.
But just completely abused by weather and years, decades of neglect.
Yep. That's exactly what that house looks like too.
It really does look just like that.
That's that is the haunted house.
Totally.
I'm like that. It just went to shambles. It's a shame, but
yeah, it's actually a pretty nice. I'm sure at one point it was a pretty nice house, but
I'm sure
I've
at one
never
point it
even
was stunning.
I mean, out of all my years being alive, I've never seen anything but a haunted
shit show.
house looking.
Oh yeah.
So
yeah,
absolutely.
There it is.
Legend has it that the now old man lives in the near perpetually darkened house, looking after, perhaps protecting, the lamentable creatures that dwell therein. Lore also has it that those who linger too long outside the house will be accosted by the aged caretaker, who will burst through the door, kerosene lamp in hand, to chase away the teenage trespassers who peel away, screeching with horror and delight. This has become a local rite of passage, a ritual that is passed down from one generation to another, a test of valor, an excuse for a midnight drive, a wild story to regale your peers with at the next clandestine kegger.
So this poor night watchman must be like, or the caretaker.
The caretaker, yes.
He's like 97. Probably.
Yeah,
like
right.
he's pushing 100 and he's like, "You goddamn kids." And he comes out with a kerosene lamp.
I feel like the threat isn't worth the dare. Like the ratio isn't even.
Right.
Like most, like if it's an urban legend, it's just like, don't go into the woods, you stabbed and your head's gonna be thrown and juggled by the fucking skeleton crows. And you're like, oh fuck, I don't want that. But this is just like an old man's gonna be like, damn you kids, and then you get away.
Well, of course, you of course forgot what house this was. I understand the title was a while ago. It is not merely an aged caretaker.
Well, so far
We're going to be getting to the goods.
Okay, well,
it's
The hot stuff.
all right, because there's a bunch of kids.
It's not just the army man of our youth that we brought up pod and pod again.
yeah,
Totally.
It's a whole other breed of fuck all.
All right.
Okay, so this is just the beginning.
This is just the first taste.
If you just park your car, caretaker comes out shaking his fist, going, "Fuck off!"
No, guy who can't afford electricity with anger fist would not this pod make.
All right.
Okay.
But for an unlucky few, the experience is less a metaphorical roller coaster ride wherein nothing actually happens and the riders are left with a few giddy thrills, and more of a living nightmare where the terror that is experienced is as real as the trauma that follows it. These unfortunates have followed all of the protocols of the drive-by ritual, but for them, there was one major difference. They didn't merely see a light or a wild-eyed old man shrieking for them to get away. That's for you, Chris.
Yet.
They spied the bizarre beings that gave the eponymous home its name, meandering in the moonlight, darting through the dead trees, and ducking behind the dilapidated structure, their skeletal hands grasping before them as they make their way through the smothering black void that surrounds them. Unlike what might be expected in a tragic congenital birth defect or even in victims of a horrific fire, these masculine humanoid entities are said to have bald heads and what seems to be a fish belly white membrane that stretches over the entire skull, leaving nothing but a pair of fleshy grooves where their eyes ought to be and a tiny protrusion for a nose.
I don't
That's
like
gross.
this.
And I hate it. And that's the end of the story. So sorry you listened because you're not getting the end.
That is fucking so
Moving
creepy.
on.
It's grubulon.
It's so creepy.
Those who have gotten a closer look at the beings claim that on the sides of their heads they have small holes leading to their ear canals, and that their lips are as pale as the rest of their featureless faces. But it is unclear whether or not that orifice, unlike the nostrils, is capable of opening. So maybe they can't do anything. They're literally faceless with just bump and humps
Bumping
or
humps.
maybe they can open their fucking mouth Silent Hill style and bite the fuck out of you.
You cannot make out with these things.
No.
Why would you want to?
I mean, the mood
I mean, you would want to.
The mood hits you right. I don't know. Maybe you and her got something in common, or maybe you and him got something in common. Maybe your eyes hit those dull little things. You know, they're non-eyes, and you're like
the concave.
The concave,
groove?
yeah, and you can see your future with this lovely being.
When
And
I
then the
stare
next
into
thing you
your
know,
concave
you're married.
grooves,
Yeah,
baby.
and then you're married.
I guess that's what you're looking for.
You're buying hardwood floors. You got pools. You got new porches. You got Dodge Ram.
Well, you're not
hold on
fixing
a
up
second.
anything with these people. Like,
Does Nick have eyes?
Yeah, she.
What's going on here, dude?
She has beautiful eyes.
Because that was mad autobiographical.
Just saying, man. You know, love finds a way. That's all I'm saying.
no, love doesn't need features.
No, not at all.
I mean, it often does for me, but it doesn't always.
I mean,
Just because I'm limited in my scope of what I see love to be.
Maybe October. This is the month where we all kind of reach in a little bit and give a piece of ourselves.
look at the heart, not the face.
Yeah, Rob.
Okay. No, I knew I was going to be the villain.
Yeah.
I say the thing we're all thinking, and now I'm the heartless
I
fuck
wasn't
all.
thinking that. I've never looked at a face in my life. I don't even know what that word means.
And once my wife gets smart enough to leave me because she realizes that I'm a fucking dickhole, then all of a sudden I have this new, faceless fiend of a girlfriend.
Faceless
maybe.
fiend of a
Faceless
girlfriend.
fiend of a
God bless you.
girlfriend.
Nice
well, good.
alliteration.
Yeah.
Can't wait to meet her.
Those, you sons of bitches, who've claimed to have had these all too close encounters with the creatures have noted that once spotted, they dash away with an uncanny alacrity, as if, despite their impairments, they were able to sense the unwanted interlopers. This could be due to their hearing acuity being enhanced in the absence of other senses,
Oh,
a well-known phenomenon.
Yeah.
The daredevil, if you will.
Truly.
There you go.
Though some have suggested that these things may have senses beyond the traditional 5 psychic abilities.
Oh, they're psychics?
Some people have suggested.
Okay.
The old some who suggest, which means I read it on the internet and it was
people.
not accredited to anyone.
It was on Reddit, and 2 random people, 69420 Ghost Hunter 73, fucking said that they were psychic.
You know for a fact that when it's random fuck-alls, I still cite them. Look at Claudette Choujon.
I actually went down that entire thread as a matter
Did you
of
really?
I really did. Yeah, it was fast. There was
I
fascinating to
know.
see it.
I mean,
yeah.
if someone's going to throw their name to it, I'll credit them.
Yeah.
But sometimes people don't. And
All right.
sometimes articles just cite facts, quote unquote.
Yeah.
Welcome to the Cryptonaut
A phrase.
podcast.
Yeah.
At least we're honest about it.
There you go.
Either way, whether these idiotic eavesdroppers have approached on foot or in a vehicle, the pallid population of this lonely house quickly vanish, leaving one to wonder if they're, understandably, afraid of the human beings infiltrating their decaying sanctuary, or if they have a secretive agenda that they are trying to keep hidden from prying eyes. As to what this agenda might be, theories are as myriad as those regarding the origins of these enigmatic entities. Some have suggested that the Faceless might be the stranded crew of a downed extraterrestrial aircraft, while others believe them to be a group of malformed miscreants on the order of Connecticut's more famous Melonheads. It's one of your personal favorites.
It is, yes.
Still others speculate that they might have an altogether more diabolical origin. Be they demons themselves or the victims of a horrible curse, one that requires that they be placed behind locked doors and boarded windows. In his 2010 book, Weird New England, Your Guide to New England's Local Legends and Best-Kept Secrets, Joseph A. Citro writes this about the boarded windows, quote, "But there's another dimension to this architectural modification, security. The house is fort-like, impenetrable, as if keeping something out or in."
So just the boards on the...
Yeah, well, yeah, impenetrable. What do you...
I mean, are they like some big-ass fucking boards?
Well, they look like plywood. All right, let's be honest.
Okay,
they
well-
don't look like they're made of bank vault
It
doors.
looks like your typical boarded up
I mean,
fucking...
we have a plywood board out there that we
right.
can go and test this
So-
right now.
Yeah, but you can look at it and be like, I can penetrate that.
Yeah, I can 100% can penetrate
All
that.
right, so maybe Mr. Citro
Okay.
felt that he couldn't penetrate it with his current skill set and or toolbox.
Okay.
We might be able to well nigh penetrate this with, say, a crowbar, a hammer,
You could
fingernails, moxie,
push it in. That's it.
Yeah,
That's what you do.
or pull it out.
Little elbow grease? Like, what do you mean?
Yeah.
Oh yeah. All right. Well, I'm not here to say Mr. Citro doesn't have the elbow grease required. I'm just suggesting
Might be.
fortress-like
Okay.
was his term.
We'll take it. I get where he's going though. Yes, the diabolical faceless evil must be contained within the house by the plywood.
By the plywood.
Yes.
The fort-like impenetrable plywood.
Yeah.
When you head to fucking Grossman's, oh, that's old-timey.
Good old orange and white
Yeah, I know,
Grossman's.
good old orange and white Grossman's.
Yeah, it really aged ourselves with that
Yeah,
one
no
because
doubt. All right,
I remember the smell of Grossman's.
Oh my God, who doesn't?
And the candy.
Oh
The little
yeah.
candy in the front.
Oh my
yeah.
God, for the children.
Yeah, exactly.
Which we wear.
Yeah, exactly.
All right, so when you go to your local hardware establishment,
Home Depot,
say,
or Lowe's.
for example,
There you go.
or 84 Lumber if you're local.
84 lumber's no longer a thing.
Oh
This
God,
hasn't
damn.
been a thing
Oh
in a
no,
while.
really? Oh,
It hasn't
why?
been there in years.
Welcome to
I'm so old.
2021,
Do you know how
Rob.
long it's been since I bought fucking wood?
Yes,
It's
as a matter of
impossibly
fact,
long.
I do.
I don't buy wood. All right, so my point is,
I don't think you've ever bought one. Rick, have you?
I bought
say,
wood that one time. I tried to build a bookshelf, and I made it out of the heaviest
Oh.
2x4s, and it had to stay in the apartment because it couldn't be carried out by 7 mortals.
It weighed 800 fucking pounds.
8,000 pounds.
Did you use
it
like
was so heavy?
oak or something?
I
to
used
build
just,
it?
I don't know,
You could
2
use,
by
like,
27s.
half-inch plywood,
I used
really,
the
like-
heaviest
2 by
woods and the
27s.
heaviest woods, yes. And I hammered them together with like 7-inch nails, railroad spikes, basically, and they held my books and never once buckled. For my books are not that heavy; they're made of paper. And then that stayed behind on Elizabeth Street.
Okay, all
that
right.
bookshelf was not destined
Hey,
to
I
move.
think it's dope that you tried to make a bookshelf.
Oh no, succeeded.
Oh, you succeeded. Yeah.
And I made something monolithic that will stand the test of time. I'm sure whoever's living there now is looking at that eyesore going, the fuck.
I think you.
I wish I could move this.
I think
You
you
made a
te-
house frame.
Yeah,
pretty
you,
much look-
you technically just like put an addition into the house with
Yeah.
the bookshelf, but it's cool, man.
See, I don't know much about carpentry.
Nor do I.
The point is, we think the three of us could break into the faceless house.
Quite possibly.
Maybe Mr. Citro can't. It's still fortress-like in his estimation.
All right, well,
Perfect.
I like talking to Citro.
And that is an option that must be considered, I continue. While many assume that these pitiable creatures are hiding from judgmental human eyes, locked away for their own good while their endlessly loyal caretaker defends and takes care of them, there is a flip side to that coin. Maybe these anomalous entities don't need protection from us. Maybe we need protection from them.
And the old caretaker who's 127 years old is keeping him at bay.
Are you going to
Well,
hear,
I mean-
hear what I have to say about that?
Yeah.
Go ahead. You talk about it.
Oh, okay.
No, talk amongst yourselves.
Do it.
No, it's exciting. What if, like in so many classic horror films, from the repugnant The Sentinel to the modern fucking masterpiece Prince of Darkness, been a while. Been a while.
I love your misspelling though as Price of Darkness. I'm like, that is the Lifetime movie variant.
And oh shit,
Price
No
of
way.
This Wednesday, 9 p.m. The Price of Darkness.
the price of darkness. This so-called caretaker stands as a lonely human bulwark between humanity and an unfathomable evil. What if this aged man has, for whatever reason, dedicated his life to making sure that the horrors boarded within the house of the faceless people never infiltrate or infect the human race? When the caretaker streaks out of the house, lantern swinging in his white-knuckled grip, maybe he's less worried about what's in the house and more concerned about the young lives in the cars outside and the jeopardy they might be in. And what then? If any of these suppositions prove true, and I'll admit, pissing in the dark, do we do when he is no longer there to rein in the featureless fiends in his charge? Will he appoint another guardian before he passes? Or will this potentially insidious force be unleashed on an unsuspecting world? I'm voting for the latter. Now, I'll grant you, wild theories on my part. I have no reason to assume he is keeping this unspeakable evil
Okay.
in there.
I wasn't sure. I thought you were going for it.
Except that Donald Pleasance did it in, of course, Price of Darkness.
No, that's sure, that's the deal.
and the old creepy priest, I think it was John Carradine, did it. Did you guys ever see The Sentinel? They used actual.
I know I have
congenitally deformed people.
I don't know.
It's one of those. It's not like classic 70s horror like The Exorcist or Texas Chainsaw.
Right.
It is scummy pre-Cronenberg body horror.
Yeah.
In the worst way. But either way, there was also a guardian keeping tabs on the gate to hell.
Oh,
I'm speculating that this house in Monroeville, Connecticut, is a gate to hell. These faceless fiends are the demons that are the Cerebus-ish things,
the hellhound,
the hell
guardians.
things.
Okay.
And that the one human being with his ultimate plywood barricade has prevented the world from suffering the ills of hell on earth. Now, I don't have anything to base this on, except that I've seen movies and I've written about this as of now.
Right, movies. It's like the anti-Grail night, right? Like he's
either anti-Grail. Thank you.
He's either immortal or he's human, and it has to get passed down to somebody. Maybe one of the kids that is brave enough to go in there and
can you imagine
defeat the illusions or whatever. And it's like, well, you've passed the test.
What if you like?
Now you're here to do the lantern deal to other kids.
That makes perfect sense.
Yeah, honestly, and you're like, all right, let's fucking do it.
You have to drink out of like the right Dixie cup or some bullshit. Like you don't get a Holy Grail. You get some like garbage. Like, do you want Magilla Gorilla or Jabberjaws? And you fucking pick the right.
Okay, what decade are we in here?
No, he's an old man in a fucking house. He's got fucking Hanna-Barbera glasses from the 70s.
Yeah, but he's got to recognize that if you're going to pass it on to a new person, then they have to deal with new tech.
No.
He's going to be like, who's Jabberjaw, old man?
No. They will say that.
And he's going to buck.
But the one that matters most is going to say, give me Huckleberry Hound. And he will drink from it, and he will be the new old man of the house. Except he'll be a young man, and he'll wonder why he's spending the rest of his fucking life with a lantern in a house with faceless people trying to stop hell from being unleashed in lower Connecticut.
I mean, it's technically a public service. There might be a pension.
No,
no, that's
really?
not
There's
how.
no
That never works.
Really?
Do you know nothing about guardians at the gates of hell?
They don't get paid.
You got to get something
it's
for
the
it.
privilege.
Yeah, they get death at the end of their guard.
Well, you serve the Lord, and maybe you get a reward for that. Maybe.
I think pension.
No, I think you just die.
A heavenly pension.
Yes, a heavenly pension.
Okay, it's
yeah,
a
but what if
pension.
it's evil? You get a hellish pension.
Oh man.
Oh yeah.
That's trouble.
Or maybe you get to be
That might
like
be
just
dope,
a
but
side
that might be
demon and
cool,
not
though.
be tortured. You just get to be like a shitty.
But you wouldn't
acolyte.
prevent the demons from doing demon shit if you were actually going to get demon pension.
It's true.
Demon pension demands that you let them out. Well, of course they get out.
I
sometimes.
don't know. There might be. I mean, it might be a dual edge. Like if you let this out, then it's the end for everything.
Right.
So both sides have a stake.
Yeah. Huh.
Oh
okay.
man, how do you? But it's hard to play both sides against the middle. It's hard to be Clint Eastwood in Fistful of Dollars when you're dealing with fucking demons. You're the barricade to the fucking bowels of hell, and yet you're still trying to like get in good enough to see Mima in heaven or whatever. Yeah. It's a difficult road to hoe.
Maybe.
And if you're some kid and you don't know that you're getting ramshackled into this bullshit, and all of a sudden you're like, "Fuck, I got to be the old guy."
All right, so how do you
now?
tempt the kid, Chris? Obviously, my fucking Huckleberry Hound glasses aren't good enough.
I don't know.
So what is it?
I guess it just depends on the decade and the time. The tests have to be specific. I mean, they have to be. There has to be a point in the test where they know what they're going to be guarding, I guess.
Yeah, but
right?
How do you make that a victory?
I have no fucking idea.
Because nobody wants that. Nobody has a career plan for that.
Why? I don't even know. I'm just like...
You don't go to Apex Tech to learn how to fucking guard the fucking hold.
No, that
hell.
is not a course at
No, it's
ITT.
not.
Hellmouth protection.
Yeah.
What you can be is
101.
like if you're savvy enough, you can maybe equate it. He's like, I played Diablo. And you'd be like, hey,
Played Diablo.
imagine if it's fucking this, and be like, oh, okay. You could probably dupe a kid pretty easily with like.
Yeah, I mean,
Well, also you can say like your little sister, your parents.
I mean, the
girl
military-
you love, they all die if this.
I don't think that
evil
would work
gets
on the
I
youth
think
of today.
Chris
actually,
is onto something with Diablo. The military does it all the time with like fucking Call of Duty games. They get kids all jazzed to go fucking fight wars. So I mean, you could probably be like, "Oh, dude, no, this is like Dungeons and Dragons, but like real life shit." And then the kid's like, "Follow me on Instagram, fuck yeah!" And there
you
you
get
go.
this
Follow me on
lantern.
Instagram.
It's fucking like
do the fucking TikToks
hell
you
at
can
bay.
do. Yeah, imagine the TikToks of this guy, this fucking kid. He's
Dancing
like,
with the faceless ones?
yeah, just doing weird TikTok challenges and shit. He's like, oh, fuck, check it out,
swinging
bro.
that shit around.
Yeah.
All right,
fuck.
so let's just hope somebody has taken this mantle. Because
All right,
old
well.
dude's not going to live for... All right.
Maybe he will, though. Who knows?
Whether this ghastly group are earthbound extraterrestrials, interdimensional interlopers, demonic hellspawn, or something as yet unfathomable, let's continue to hope that as the teens of Monroe make their generational pilgrimage to that lonely stretch of road, that the caretaker is there to scare them away. Because if he is not, then something else, something infinitely more dangerous, may be lurking there to ensure they never leave. That is assuming, of course, the Diablo protocols haven't brought in 17-year-old Randy Ajax, and he's now the new
Randy
caretaker.
Ajax?
That's his name.
Ajax.
I,
all right.
I mean, I did.
No,
I
you
made it
clearly
up.
just
Yeah,
did.
I mean, I just did. But that's not the point. The point is, I'm believing he's real, and Randy Ajax, that's his new job.
Okay, so you did bring up an interesting point that they have gotten out because people have seen them.
Yes, they have.
So maybe they just have, they're not like, maybe they're still contained on the property? Like if they're like, they can't get past the
There
iron
could be
gate.
like an electrical fence for a dog, but like
Well, it seems
an
that way.
accursed fence for the demons.
Okay.
It's got to be a property line, or else. I mean,
Or
why
pour
would they?
salt on the edges, or who knows?
The only
how
thing that
works.
makes sense then, if they're not, because they're not outside. There's no stories of that we know of.
Oh, no, they're outside the house.
No, outside of like they're not like
You're
in
right, the area.
city. Yeah,
no, they're not seen wandering around Burger
right.
King.
So
yeah.
hey, there's a guy with a lantern to see him. So either he's guarding something, and they're actually trying to get in, so they're on different sides.
Right.
If they're on the same side, then they're both there to scare. I mean,
Right.
I feel like those are the options, right?
Well, either he's protecting them, which means he's trying to get people away to
Which means they're both
help
on the
them.
same side.
They're on the same side, or he is again the human wall that separates reality from these things, and he's rushing out to get these kids away before
From those
they get
things.
consumed, possessed, whatever.
Yeah. Well, I guess he could be on the same side of those other things. They could be two levels of defense.
Sure, he could be
As
doing
well.
what he can to placate them, which would make him a decent caregiver, like making sure they have, I don't know, plenty of dead rabbits to eat or whatever the fuck these faceless fuckers osmosisly absorb through the fish belly
Just
membrane
yeah,
in their
well,
face.
right.
Like
Pilot.
can you imagine if they just press guts against their face and they just slowly sink in? Something like that.
Just
No,
a
I can see
pile
that.
of dead rabbits? Like,
and,
where's
and yeah, but rabbits are tasty. They're tender. They don't have like mouths. They have to have things that'll go through the viscous, and it's sticky.
this
and
thing you're
icky.
doing
maybe.
with your hands is not healthy.
Yeah, you
Yeah,
keep
it's
doing it.
horrible.
Yeah, it's
I know.
gross. Okay, all right, all
There
right,
it is.
all right.
So I'm just saying, I don't know how these things eat.
Nobody
But-
does.
no, yeah,
or
we
maybe he feeds them intravenously with, of course, rabbit blood. Rabbits are involved somehow. I'm convinced of that.
At least
Again,
it's not
based on
cats,
nothing.
dogs, or
I
children.
mean, yeah, maybe
so.
it doesn't know. Maybe there's some weird demon thing, and they don't really need to feed on shit like that.
All right, that's true.
Yeah,
Or
I
they're
mean-
not real, and they're just fucking illusions. And like he's the first thing he comes out shaking his fist like "fuck your kids." They're like, "No, fuck your old man." And then he does the illusion, and then they come out and they're like, "Oh shit, there's these faceless fucks," and then we gotta go.
Like mannequins with like fucking parboiled chicken skin draped over their faces, like.
Well,
they
not,
must be blind.
not like a
They're
dupe,
going
like a
everywhere.
cardboard cutout on a slide going by a bush, but just like I don't know, makes them think that they see these things.
No, he could
right?
control like 17
Like a-
puppets from all the
Yeah,
dead
it's-
trees by wherever he's standing,
He
and they
has-
just look like twisted marionettes.
Well,
has-
but if he's shaking your fist and holding a lantern, I don't know how is he going to control those
His
things at the same
feet,
time.
man. He's
Yeah,
doing his
dude.
creative.
Oh my god, he's a toe puppet
He's a
controller.
toe puppeteer.
Hey, dude, it's
Tuppeteer.
dude, this is the fucking Kevin McAllister fucking protocols.
Oh my
He's got the
God.
whole fucking thing set up.
Exactly.
I can't remember the fucking name of
Okay.
the movie.
Home Alone.
Thank you.
Criminals.
Jesus. I had it. I'm like, oh, what's the movie with Kevin McAllister?
But you remembered Kevin McAllister
Yes.
protocol.
Yeah, even I had to think of that. I'm like, why does that sound familiar? I'm like, I know what is the but.
All right, you know what?
I guess it could be.
I dig that theory. All right, so let's say if we're talking alien or interdimensional weird high strangeness
Yes.
thing, if for some whatever reason this dude is fucking there, the aliens crash. He's like, we're cool, we'll be friends. I'll keep people away from you, but you got to keep away from people. Don't get near the technology that is the fucking plywood because it is fucking.
Yeah, no, it's
it
deadly.
will keep you there.
You can convince them.
Thank you,
it could
Home
be
Depot.
A cloak. Or got a cloak like a like it's It's like a TARDIS. It looks like the
Oh,
house.
it looks like a
Oh,
house.
house
yeah.
is the
It's
ship.
Yeah, okay.
How did I miss
oh,
that?
shit. We may have just broken this fucker.
That's
one
it.
night.
We're all like staring
There
like,
it is, yeah.
God damn it, that's
God
it.
damn it. It seems so obvious now.
No, it's not even demons. It's a
This-
goddamn fucking ship.
This-
This
a goddamn
one, you'll
shit.
understand that we just wrote a really good Doctor Who episode, right?
Fuck.
Well, yeah.
I mean, that really is like a great
oh,
Doctor Who
no. I
episode.
mean, I want David Tennant to go against the Faceless Fiends immediately.
Totally.
Eccleston, maybe.
Shit. Oh, yeah, I'd take it either
yeah,
one.
Eccleston would be fucking
Oh,
great.
because he was a badass.
Yeah,
Oh,
awesome.
fucking, what's his nuts? Tom Baker. Come on.
Oh, Tom Baker would be
Classic.
dope. Yeah, just fucking all smarmy and shit and just being like, oh, guess
Slapping
what?
everyone with his giant fucking scarf.
Yeah. Just like completely
Better if it was like a weapon. You just beheading everybody.
the fucking Tom Baker weapon. This episode of the podcast is brought to you by EvolveCBD.com. This is a business that was established in 2016 right here in our hometown of Auburn, New York, by a very good friend of ours and longtime podcast supporter. We could not be more stoked to have him on as a sponsor. You can visit EvolveCBD.com, use promo code HELL or SPACE at checkout to get 20% off your order. At that website, you will have access to a full spectrum liquid, CBD and CBG flower, a wide variety of edibles, topicals, tinctures, and more. They also have CBD products for your pets, and again, that is EvolveCBD.com. Use our promo code HELL or SPACE at checkout to get 20% off your online order. All right, we are moving on to the Mount Washington incident. After a professional mountaineer who was sent to assess the winter damage done to a popular climbing cottage failed to radio into base camp, a rescue operation was swiftly mounted. The search party found the once brave man a quivering shell of himself, who later regaled the crew with a tale that is considered by some to be New Hampshire's scariest paranormal encounter.
By some.
Damn.
By some.
Scariest.
New Hampshire, you know what that means? Home of scissor fight.
Wow. It really is, too.
There you go.
That's an obscure fucking call. Nice.
Fuck yeah, what up, scissor fight?
Well done. This is actually a pretty interesting account, and without further motherfucking ado. Founded in 1876 to explore and preserve New Hampshire's White Mountains, the Appalachian Mountain Club is the oldest outdoor group in the United States, and literally it's called an outdoor group. It sounds so generic.
It does.
Hey, you guys want to form, a little something called an outdoor group?
Excellent New Hampshire
In
accent.
my flawless New Hampshire
No,
accent.
no, yeah, if I didn't know, I'd be like, that is
Yeah.
fucking New Hampshire.
Hey, we're not indoors here, are we? We're outdoors. More than 3 of us.
We're a club.
It's done. No, it's a group, dude. Come on. All right. As part of their purview, the group maintains various quote-unquote huts, though they're actually more like sprawling multi-bunk estates with dining rooms, kitchens, the whole 9 yards, all the amenities, which serve as jumping-off points for hiking expeditions. Far and away the most famous of these edifices is an isolated shingle and stone structure located precisely 5,012 feet above the tree line on Mount Washington, known as, quote, Lakes of the Clouds hut.
Ooh,
It's
that sounds kinda
Lakes
fucking
of the
dope.
Clouds, plural.
Okay.
Due to the fact that the building sits next to a lake where the clouds oftentimes appear to be sitting on the water. So it's this beautiful, when
that
you see
makes
the
sense.
images, there's stones and scrub brush. It almost looks like the Scottish Highlands. And
Oh,
this
yeah, yeah.
very flat, placid lake. And it's at this, I don't know, midway summit, because I think the peak is like 6,000 some feet. So it's a summit fairly high up. And it's like a trajectory, a starting point for a lot of different expeditions. Okay. This off-the-grid bunkhouse offers few amenities like heating or electricity. Yeah, fuck off if that's what you want. But it does have beds, cold running water, and compositing toilets. So, fucking awesome.
I mean, it's better than
It's
not
better than
any
a
of those
tent.
things.
You're right.
Like-
Cold running water and a bed and walls are better than not.
100%.
But not exactly like a first-class resort experience. But then again, roughing it's not my bag.
That's what I mean. If you're
If that
roughing
is
it,
your
I feel
bag-
like this is a fucking 4-star hotel.
yeah, you're
compared
getting
to what you're
spoiled.
used to. Like,
Yeah.
sleeping bag on a rock, 9 squirrels in your fucking hair or whatever. Like, fuck out of here.
Fair enough.
Got some like raccoon blankets. It's okay. No big deal. Couple fox, keep your feet warm. Couple bear moose. There you go.
I mean, if they agree to do it, if you talk to them and be like, yeah, we'll be your blanket. I'd be like, yeah, all right. But
no.
that never happens.
No, when fox and moose and fucking
I'm
raccoon
in.
offer to be your blanket, they have an insidious agenda.
It's
They have an
rabies.
entirely different plan.
That's a different scenario than the one I proposed. The propose is like a Disney situation where you agree to do a thing and it's all fine.
Yeah,
and
but
you're
for
blanket.
what? What are you giving them
I
back?
don't know the whole fucking story.
Okay.
I'm just
yeah.
saying the story is you agree and you both fucking agree to the terms. There's no dupe.
The term
Oh,
is
there's totally a dupe.
the
In
terms,
your world, there's a dupe. In my world, there's not a dupe.
And there's a reason why I don't have rabies.
And I've had squirrel blankets and it went fine. So fuck you, bitch.
Wow. Fair enough.
Yeah.
I
right.
stand corrected.
You just got Chris Carnacelli, bitch.
Evidently, yeah. No,
Squirrel
volume and
blanket.
logic win all the time.
Oh man.
Never
Jesus.
the fucking less. The hut is popular among hikers due to the fact that it is staffed by an experienced crew who not only provide a hearty breakfast essential, but are also available to assist with trip planning, trail information, and weather reports, while the unstaffed naturalist offers programs about local flora and fauna as well as geology during the full service season, which runs from June to September.
Pretty decent setup on it.
Yeah, that's not
Very
bad,
nice.
really.
It's during the off-season, however, when the more nefarious and much less human occupants of the cabin show their faces. Literally.
Oh boy.
During the autumn and the bitter winter months, the cottage is boarded up tight to avoid damage from the fierce north winds and closed for the season. Then, every spring, in preparation for the tourist season, the Appalachian Mountain Club sends up an experienced team member with a two-way radio who is tasked with unboarding the windows, assessing any winter damage, and requesting any equipment or materials that may be required to reopen the hut. Just simple bullshit.
Okay.
Send up a guy who knows
Yeah.
what he's doing, or a gal.
Yeah.
Send him up. Let him fucking call back and be like, all right, windows are open. I need 3
Matt,
wrenches.
the inspector comes by. He's
I
like,
need plywood in
Yeah.
case any of these faceless fucks need to get
got
out.
any indestructible fucking wood
Exactly.
or impenetrable? Sorry.
According to Marianne O'Connor, author of 2009's Haunted Hikes in New Hampshire, it was on just such a solo trek that a seasoned crew member identified only as George had a dreadful experience that would change the course of his life. Those familiar with the incident claimed that on the morning in question, the radio-equipped George made the long trek up to the still snow-covered, scrub brush and boulder-strewn paths of Mount Washington to evaluate the house's integrity. By mid-afternoon, the men at Pinkham Notch Base Camp, Pinkham
Notch.
Isn't that a delight? Were surprised that their cohort had yet to call in. They radioed up to him, but there was no answer. This surprised them, but no one at base camp was overly concerned. After all, George was an experienced outdoorsman and was considered by many to be one of the bravest men on the team. The assumption was that he was probably just away from the radio, checking the exterior of the shelter. This attitude prevailed until approximately 8 p.m., when the unit had still not heard from their comrade. The radio operator made repeated attempts to contact their colleague, but to no avail. It was then that the decision was made to send out a rescue operation to the summit at the crack of dawn. Can't fuck around.
No.
Dude's not talking. Send him packing.
Yep.
As the sun breached the eastern horizon, the searchers donned their packs and made the arduous journey up the mountain towards the Lake of the Clouds. As the team trudged up the stone-lined path to the hut, they saw George's tracks in the snow, but, surprisingly, they noted that all of the structure's windows were still boarded up. As the crew entered the dark and icy shelter, they were met with another surprise. Although there was no trace of their friend, his gear was spread out neatly on the dining room floor, and his two-way rested on the table, fully charged. The search team cried out for their coworker, but there was no response, only an unnerving silence. the rescuers decided to split up. Half the group went outside to see if George had meandered away from the lake, while the other half ignited their flashlights and headlamps and began to search the pitch-black bunkhouse. The squad made their way through the Stygian structure, room by room, but they could find neither hide nor hair of their associate. That was when one of the rescuers heard a whimper in the darkness. Startled, the crew followed the pitiful, almost subhuman sounds into the kitchen. Armed only with a flashlight and guts, an unidentified rescuer reached down and, with what must have been great reluctance, threw open the cabinet door beneath the sink. To their shock and relief, the team discovered the trembling, wild-eyed George clutching an axe to his chest with a white-knuckled grip. That's what you always want to find.
That is the opposite
Yeah.
of what I want to find.
His mates emancipated him from the cubbyhole, trying to get him to explain what had happened. But all the quivering, sweat-smothered man could do was plead, quote, "Just please, get me the hell out of here. Just get me out of here," end quote. In no time, the crew reassembled, but no matter how intensely he was interrogated, all George would repeat was, quote, "Just get me the hell out of here, please." Baffled, and likely more than a little afraid, the rescue operation silently escorted their usually unflappable friend down the path, while an associate radioed base camp saying they'd found their man and to have an ambulance waiting below. George was admitted into the hospital, where his convalescence lasted for weeks. All the while, he refused to speak a word about what had happened at the cabin. Those who knew him best could only speculate regarding what could have reduced this valorous veteran of the mountain to this petrified mess of a man. They wondered if he'd had a near-death experience with a wild animal or maybe even an unbalanced human being. Finally, as if he could no longer bear the burden of his experience alone, George confided to a cherished confidant what had actually happened. According to the seasoned survivalist, by the time he'd made it to the hut, he was overcome with exhaustion and ravenous with hunger. He opened the padlocks on the heavy cottage doors and made his way directly into the darkened dining hall. Once inside, he plopped down on a wooden bench and began to take stock of his rations. George was about to radio into base when he was suddenly overcome with the feeling that he was not alone. The hair stood up on the back of his neck with an almost electrical urgency as George sensed that there was some malevolent force directly behind him, reaching toward him. He leapt to his feet and whirled around, ready to confront what he hoped would be an all-too-human trespasser, but there was no one to be seen. George narrowed his eyes, scanning the darkness of the hall for any shadowy silhouettes, any hint of movement, but there was none. Still, that gut-sickening uneasiness would not leave him. Then, without warning, he saw it, a face pressed against the glass of the dining room window, its dimensions distorted into a grotesque mockery of normal human features. George gasped. Then, as frightening as the horrible visage was, it dawned on him with growing horror that it was not possible for someone to be looking in, as the windows were still boarded from the outside.
Oh,
okay. I was wondering
shit.
with that. I'm like, am I seeing this wrong? Because I was like, oh, that must be from the outside. And then like,
Right.
I was like, maybe I missed. There's like a partition or something.
Yeah,
But no,
but
that's not
like
the
an
case.
inch and a half, 2 inches, however much space there is. Yeah. And at first here, we're going to go into speculation mode. I'll be like, all right, dude saw his reflection and shit himself. I've seen my reflection at night in a window and shat myself.
No, it's garbage.
You're just like, the fuck are you? It's you. It's a reflection. Yeah. You fucking fuck.
No, it sucks.
But from moments from now, we'll find out this was not the case. Unable to process what he was looking at, George backed away. But to his chagrin, the face in the window multiplied.
Come on.
Appearing in every pane in the dining hall.
Oh, no.
Face after face after face.
Oh,
it's like a bad early 80s fucking
cubby
music
hole
video.
time.
Yeah.
It's like, I'm out or in, I guess.
Terror struck, George could only stare as the contorted faces seemed to, quote, melt through the glass, unquote, actually coming into the room as if in a twisted parody of Cronenberg's Videodrome. So it's not just that you're seeing this fucking same fuck-all face on all these windows, but it's like bending the glass.
Yeah.
It's coming in at you. The eerily emerging faces glowered at the panicking mountaineer with an unfathomable malice, at which point he either lost consciousness or endured something too terrible to recall, because his next conscious memory was that of his peers pulling him out of the cupboard beneath the sink, where he hid, one presumes, in the hopes of evading this supernaturally malevolent monstrosity. Following his harrowing ordeal, George made a complete physical recovery, but was never quite the same man. Soon after exiting the hospital, George resigned from his cherished Appalachian Mountain Club position and steadfastly refused to ever set foot in the cottage again. Not long after, according to reports, he lost all memory of the horrifying event. Let's hope, for his sake, that these rumors are true.
Dude, the fucking mountain
just
ghouls,
forget.
dude.
Mountain face.
Mountain ghouls.
Multiple mountain face.
Yeah.
Faceless fucks, mountain face.
Yeah.
Multiple mountain face.
Yeah, these things got
No,
faces
right.
and they're pushing through glass. Jesus.
That's terrible.
Yeah, no, that's definitely creepy for sure. So, I mean, obviously this has a paranormal bend to it, but speaking
Seemingly.
speculation wise here,
Yeah.
as you mentioned, the reflection in the window, and or if he's just exhausted and just completely shot, and he's going into some weird fucking hypothermic thing or something.
That's true.
Like-
but he is an experienced mountaineer.
He is, yeah. So he would, but you know,
Yeah,
I
but
mean,
that doesn't mean
that mean you can't fuck up.
Yeah, that
Right.
shit couldn't seep in.
All right, let me add another thing. I don't know when this happened. This happened in the 90s, the 2000s, the 2010s. Who the fuck knows?
Right.
What I do know is that I myself and many friends have hiked while tripping balls.
Yeah.
And if you're a guy, and I don't know if he's a, a hippie type or whatever, like say the pseudo hippie type of the 90s or whatever, which we palled around with and which, I guess I dipped my foot into. If you are just like, oh man, I've done this trip a billion times. I got to knock some boards off. I got to fucking see if the water heater needs a fucking wrench or whatever. I got to see whatever bullshit. We got to get more peas in the pantry.
This needs a wrench.
I'm going to fucking dose to the tits, enjoy a beautiful nature walk.
it's possible.
yeah.
So
I mean,
I'm not saying he's dosed. I'm just we're throwing out, like say never take
Yeah.
diabetes, the devil, or LSD off the table.
Maybe
or
he's
shrooms.
just
It is
microdosing,
possible.
If you-
just having a couple little
And
caps.
nobody microdosed in the 90s.
I
I'm not
feel
saying
like
this happened in the
though-
90s, but
If you're in inspector mode, like which it seems like he is,
Yeah,
like
you're a pro.
You're in you have this mission especially is like, all right, this is the important one. I got to make sure shit's working so people survive in this
Right.
fucking place.
And
so
also
maybe
know-
that would not be the best
And
time.
again,
to
I
do, even
mean-
if you were into doing it, you maybe wouldn't do it at this
that makes sense.
specific
Dude,
time
it's-
because this is important.
It's also New
But-
Hampshire, though, man. That shit's wild.
Oh, it is wild.
Like we're talking, live free or die, mountain
Dow.
men. Dow, live free or die, mountain men, straight up. So, dude just shows up. Maybe he could have, possibly, I think more, like you said, the inspector mode. Maybe just something happened when he was in there, whether it was some hypothermic.
I just had to throw
thing.
that out
Yeah,
there.
no, for sure.
But
Like,
it's definitely possible. I mean, if you're whatever, if you're tripping balls and you just happen to get up there and like you said, you're like some fucking hippie type, you're like, yeah, I've done this shit. You're there and all of a sudden you start freaking the fuck out. You go like full fucking Shining
Right.
in the middle of this thing, which kind of does have a weird little Shining thing to it.
Oh, absolutely.
So-
well, anytime it's something isolated in
Yeah.
the mountains, in the snow.
Clearly.
cold.
Shining.
Yes.
Or it just literally, he may have seen something that freaked him out that was something this natural. Maybe if it was a weird reflection or something.
Well, maybe, but no, that can't. I don't
I
buy
don't want it to
that.
be that. I want it to
It's
be
not
the
a
demons of
Listen,
the mountain.
If the whole story was
I mean-
demons of the fucking mountain,
Yeah, that's what I want.
If literally the whole story was I saw a twisted face in the window, I lost my mind, I hid under the fucking sink,
Yeah.
Yeah,
then I'd be like, dude, you saw your reflection, fucking relax.
totally.
But when
Multiple,
it's all the
yeah.
windows and they're bending inward and it's fucking on, that's either a genuinely paranormal event, a lie, or some sort of biological diabetes or pharmacological fucking hallucinogen experience. It has to be one of the three.
It'd be interesting to know if there is any other experiences that people had up there. Like, if is the place like reputedly haunted?
No, well, I don't know. It could very well be. That's the thing. I don't know of any other stories. I know it's got like lots of bunk beds and a dining hall, and obviously they have a full staff during the on season, which oddly doesn't last very long, from like early June to mid-September. Like, I don't know how bad it gets in the mountains of New Hampshire, but it seems like you could stretch that a little, like maybe open in March and fucking close it in October, but apparently not. Apparently maybe it's too fucked up.
Unless it's like hunting season or something. Maybe that's why they do it so short.
Again, I didn't do enough of a
I
deep
watch a
dive
lot
to
of
know.
Northwoods Law on Discovery Plus.
Okay.
What's
not saying that I'm moving to New Hampshire. Might be.
Okay.
Never know.
Was this on purpose?
You're not.
Or did
What's
you
that?
accidentally just
Completely
fall
not.
into a Northwoods Law
My
hole?
kids love Northwoods Law, and I'm like, this is kind of
Because they
fun.
like law enforcement, or why?
There's animals, and Charlie gets a kick out of the people growing the weeds, as he calls it, and
The
getting
weeds.
arrested. Yeah.
Okay.
I feel like New Hampshire though is like any other state, like that's kind of the Northeast, because you can say New York State,
Right.
But I mean, there's places that are very
Rural,
but then there's like Syracuse or Buffalo,
Right.
New Hampshire's the same way. Like I was at like Portsmouth.
Right.
Portsmouth is just a little dope, little fucking city on the coast.
Right.
It's awesome, but it's not what you're describing, right?
Right.
So it's got both, right? It's
Sure.
got like
Yeah,
little.
it's got like the
nothing
deep
is
rural.
all.
Yeah.
Texas has Austin.
Right.
You know, California has Orange County. Like,
See-
there's always contrast to what
So,
you expect.
I mean, if we're talking paranormal event here, right? Dude shows up, thing comes out. Like I'm saying, man, I'm thinking mountain demons, dude.
All right, mountain demons.
Yeah,
that makes
mountain
sense.
demons. The old fucking pissy spirits of the mountain, and they're just fucking coming up from their paranormal fucking hibernation.
Or is it a guardian spirit?
I don't know, man. I think it's a mountain demon.
Finally
Guardian of the Lake?
had enough. Maybe something about that fucking. Maybe they didn't. No one moved the bodies. They put a fucking. They fucking put a.
But you
James
know
Caron.
what? That's how you get mountain demons.
The mountain spirits.
No, is that how you get mountain demons? Not moving the
Demons.
bodies?
Yep. Totally.
I
Because
thought
then
there was
those-
other ways. I
Nope.
thought so. We're not talking. All right, so we're not talking foundational creatures. We're not talking
No.
elementals. We're talking
No.
demons that are invoked by a lack of body removal.
Yeah, man. They're just the restless
yeah.
spirits and the
Of the mountain
missions.
dead.
Yeah,
Of the mountain dead.
yeah, the restless spirits of the mountain dead. They didn't complete whatever in life, and they realize they're dead, and then they just get all weird and fucked up, and the next thing you know, fucking horns.
Or
and
is it just like
wings
the
and
ghosts
shit.
of hikers that didn't finish that one climb they really wanted
Yeah,
to?
because like why then?
really
like why at
pissed.
that point, and why like never any other time that this place has been open?
That we know of. But in
Well,
all
that's what I'm
fairness, you're
saying.
right.
I'm just going
We
according
have
to
to
the
go by what
report.
we know. You're
If
right.
they get you,
So-
dude, if the mountain demons get you and they kill you, no one ever hears back from you.
Well, yeah, you die in mountains.
You die, yeah.
Yeah.
And then you
Okay, but if they survived, you think they would tell a story, and there isn't another one.
because dude forgot everything.
Well, what I would expect,
Yeah, but we have a story.
Yeah, but then it says that he forgot about it.
so he says.
Yeah, but I mean, if other people are up there and they're all fucked up, and then
They had
forget
it-
about it too.
Yeah, but
Right,
he
It's
didn't
an
forget about it for like at least 3 weeks.
An unrelenting
Yeah.
cycle of mountain demon horror.
Oh my God, I love
they-
that. A,
yeah.
but B,
Oh, man.
fuck. C, this dude probably didn't forget about it. He was probably sick of talking about his fucking horrible night on the mountain, whether or not it was chemically induced or paranormally induced. And he's
know,
just
man.
like, I don't remember shit. Just
Yeah.
leave me the fuck alone.
That might be something that they do to you. A little piece of them gets inside of you.
Oh my God.
I think Orr's fucked up, and he kept telling the story, and then he finally got out of the fucking drug haze, and he's like, "Holy shit! I just told a bunch of fucking people this bullshit story." And he's like, "Wait, what story? What are you talking about?
No, I just don't want to climb the
You guys are
mountain anymore.
assholes." Telling me I told a fucking story. That didn't happen.
That is also possible, Chris. Yes,
Right.
100%. 100%. So, Robert, where are you with this?
It's interesting. I do like you want it to be mountain demons simply because mountain demons are fucking awesome. I also want it to be
are they?
something fucking else. No, well, no, they're not awesome to actually
Are they?
deal with in a Raimi-esque sense of fucking Evil Dead horror. They're awesome as a concept, but like, what if something was trying to like, I can't wait to see Chris's face right now. Pierce the veil. What if something
Not
was
even gonna look at
using the glass as a mechanism for communicating with George? And George wouldn't pay attention when it was just in one pane, so he came to all panes. And he was fucking bending the panes, and he's like, George, you got to hear me. You got to hear this one thing I got to say. You got to hear, go Bills. You know, whatever the fuck he was going to say.
In New Hampshire, go Bills.
Is there a closer football team? I guess the Giants. My point is, it could have been saying whatever it was trying to say, but I feel like just using the energy that was perhaps initially amassed by the mountain demons filled the house, and this other preternatural entity used that reservoir of paranormal energy to try to broadcast something into George's head. And when he wouldn't listen, he went to every fucking window and bent it in, and George could not take the message, could not handle whatever was being communicated, ended up in a cubby hole with an axe. Lucky he didn't cut his friend's fingers off. That's kind of where I'm going with this. What message it was, who it was from, I
know
don't
what
know
it
yet.
was? He's like, Tom Brady, the New England Patriots are
God.
gonna fucking do it this year.
Yeah, what?
They are New Hampshire, so
Deflategate.
yeah, I'm talking about the fucking Deflategate. I mean, look, I dig it. I think you could have just went Mountain Demon.
What if it's
But
aliens?
it's cool, man.
Yeah,
you don't have to.
but okay, so say it is mountain demons
Okay.
or whatever thing you just said.
Sure. A window to the unknown.
So these
Yeah.
things are relegated to the house and not to like.
we don't know that.
No, I'm asking because if they needed to give him a message, can they have given a message on his way up the mountain
Yeah,
at any
but-
time between?
I mean, if
then?
they're using the
so
glass,
are they
But if
relegated
they
to
need
the
the
house?
glass, the glass
So
is
you're
an
s-
Well,
important
I'm
part.
asking you.
like
asking
it
you
probably
guys.
tried to
I'm
project.
not on board with this at all.
Shut your fucking mouth.
Because if it's a mountain demon, then that implies the entire mountain, not
Look
just the
at the
structure.
trouble with ice. Look at the molecular structure. Look at the broken
I
ass
just
fucking
don't even-
nature of snow and ice.
I'm just gonna
when you
look
try
around
to use that
the
as a
room.
reflective, you son of a bitch, a reflective surface. Any demon, any alien, any interdimensional entity would be like, "This is fucking exhausting." Then they're like, "Oh wait, I'm up at the fucking Lando Lakes Lodge or whatever the fuck it is."
No, that's it.
And I'm like, oh,
Butter, the butter lodge.
This is glass. This is pure fucking smoothness.
Okay,
This
so
is-
they need that, is what you're saying.
I'm saying I'm fully committed now.
That's-
Yes.
Okay.
They need
Well,
the glass.
okay. Well, then
they
at least that
Snow's
makes
not
sense.
good enough. The ice is a lie. Puddles won't fucking cut it
Ice is a
anymore.
lie?
They communicate through the glass.
They
Maybe the
communicate
glass
through
is
the glass.
cursed. Maybe the glass was purchased in
Maybe the
some weird
glass-
land trade.
Thank you. Go, Mark. Go.
I
Go,
don't know.
Mark. Go.
Oh, the glass was
God,
okay.
I feel like I'm abandoning Chris.
No, why are you being?
No, I mean, that's the-
join me for once.
If the
you
glass
son of a
is
bitch.
cursed, then maybe you can find other things where this happened, and then you can
Go
trace it back to the glass
blowers.
factory.
Exactly.
There was a death.
Ye occur. Oh, somebody died. Somebody fell into the vat of melted glass, and his soul was sent through thousands of shards of glass everywhere, and he screams for release in every
Out of
pane of
all the
glass.
glass? Oh, that
all
would
the
be-
glass
that's-
everywhere that was made out of that one vat that he died and melted in. His bowl, his bones, his bowls, his bones, and his,
His balls?
soul. I confused bones and soul. I
I
fucking
feel
brought
like one
them
soul
together.
isn't powerful enough to.
His soul and his
There's got to be
bones
multiple souls at least.
and his hair.
There's a conspiracy
and his
somewhere.
fucking epidermis all got melted in the glass, and that glass got distributed to various buildings, including elementary schools, fucking public work offices,
Orphanages.
orphanages, homes, and one particular cabin on the mount.
Yeah, and let's not forget the gymnasiums.
And
Oh, yeah.
how much glass can this one guy make? I imagine, and there are probably
That's the problem.
But listen,
That was the
there
bridge too
no,
far.
No, there are probably pieces of glass that have more of Hank in them than others. Hank is who it is.
I don't know.
And so
Okay.
maybe the greatest concentration of Hank ends up at the fucking Lake of the Lakes mountain cabin.
Lake of the
I don't
Land,
remember what it's called
mountain,
anymore.
mountain cabin.
And so that's like probably 65% Hank. The rest of them ended up in various orphanages and whatnot, like Mark said.
Cursed glass, mountain demons,
I don't know
piercing
about
the
the
If you
veil.
got
glass
lost
theory,
in
but-
glass, you would want somebody to help you.
Tom
and all they
Brady.
have to do is this one simple thing: collect all the glass that was made of your soul, melt it back down, consecrate it, form it into some sort of dildo, and give it to the Dalai Lama. That's it. That's all you need to do.
You've ruined the whole.
God damn, I dropped my beer.
Oh, you just threw his fucking.
We had good carpets for one day. For one day.
All right, well, Rob's throwing beers. I think that's going to bring us to the end of the Mystery Bag Monday Cryptonaut Podcast. Thank you all so very much for joining us. Patreon.com/Cryptonaut Podcast. $1 is the shout-out and the one bonus audio. $5 is the shout-out and the 4, no more than 4, bonus episodes. HellerSpace.com. Get yourself all that new merch. We got some new shit up there. Be sure to check it out. We got sales going on in October and the very
Yes, we do.
October, November. We're going to have some more stuff popping up, so be sure to check that out. The socials, the Instas and the Twitters and the Facebooks. Be sure to follow us there. What up, Facebook fan group? Thank you so much to everyone
Hell
holding
yeah.
it down over there. Much appreciated. I think I said everything I had to say for the outro. Thank you all so very much, and we'll be talking with you soon.
Out of here.
Here's hoping.
That's it.
Goodbye.
Yeah.
Cursed glass.
Always.
Mountain
I
demons.
don't know.
Faceless fiends.
So you don't
of-
support the cursed glass theory?
I need a little bit more. I'm not against it completely.
I
But
think if you work on this and do like a proper like 12-page treatment, you'll get them on board, 100%.
maybe.
I think
I
you
don't think
will.
it's if it
See,
is.
there's
It's
a
not
maybe.
one soul. It's
There's a-
multiple souls.
there's a
It can't be just
maybe.
one.
Why
There's a
can't it
maybe.
be one?
Because first of all, I don't know the glass making process. Neither do you.
No.
Nor
But
does
how many
Mark.
people can die in one glass making process?
Fucking
what kind of catastrophe?
exactly. The one you don't fucking know about.
Oh, the one you never heard of.
Yeah, because it was buried under the fucking rug
Oh,
of
God.
fucking capitalism. You should know this. We should all know this.
Yeah, you're
All
right.
right,
The rug
there it
of
is.
It can't be
capitalism.
just one.
You're right. I stand corrected.
All right, what up, New Hampshire? Live free or die.
Goodbye. Whole town died in glass.